Before we dive into our rad new app, we want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we record, the Wurundjeri people. We pay our respect to elders past and present, and to the ongoing living culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. What's up and welcome to the Girls Gotta Work podcast. I'm Jordan and I'm a bit of a hot mess.
And I'm Hayleigh, a recovering awkward person.
And we are living proof that you can be a chaotic 20-something and still be a successful business owner. Go grab a coffee, kick your feet up, and come hang out as we share the rad, the bad, and the mad reality of running a business. Welcome, hello. We are at episode 11. How does it feel, Hayleigh?
Woo! Really good. I'm surprised. It feels like we've been doing this forever, but also not. So 11 is a really nice milestone.
I know. It's like double digits, but it's past double digits. So it's yeah, we're better than just 10. We've got 11 whole episodes out in the world.
I know.
It's amazing.
We made it past 10, motherfuckers.
Yeah. To all those haters who have not been hating at all. Prove them wrong.
Yeah. Suck it.
Well, to celebrate, actually, it's probably a good thing because we are talking about celebrating the wins in business this week. So this is absolutely something we can celebrate as well. But before we dive in, Hayleigh, how was your week?
What day is I don't even know. So I've been amazing. I just got back from Adelaide. I went for a little longish weekend with my boyfriend's family. So I had a nice time away and then had a day and a half before jumping back into the work things. And I'm feeling pretty dang good.
Oh, yay. That's so good. And when did you get up to in Adelaide and hit any wineries or?
Yep. But for the life of me, cannot remember a single name of one of them.
That's right. We'll just say general wineries in the Adelaide region.
Winery related activities. Lots of drinks were had.
I love it.
I'm all over it.
Yeah. Clearly you might have had one too many glasses of wine.
I'm still drunk.
Yeah. And we can just blame any of both of our mistakes. Mistakes. No better way to put it. On the fact that you had a big weekend and I did not, but we'll just blame everything on that.
We shall.
Yeah, nice.
How's your 2 weeks been?
It's been really good. The last few weeks have been great. So I had another spot open up in my client portfolio, which very rarely happens, which I'm so grateful for because it means that I always have wonderful clients coming in, which is so nice. But yeah, I did have one spot open up and I spoke about it on my stories over on Scrunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I've got a spot opening up, DM me if you want to claim it. And so now I am onboarding 3 new clients.
Jordan, I knew you weren't great at math, but something's not adding up.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
No.
We won't address it.
Yeah, we're just not going to address how bad I am at maths. So no, I have 3 new clients. And the reason I have 3 new clients is because they are all fantastic clients. And they all DM'd me. And I said yes to the first one. And then the second one DM'd me. And I was like, I've been waiting for them. I had a strategy session with them a while ago. So I've been waiting for them to come back around. And they came back around. And I was like,
ooh.
I've got her. And because we've already done the strategy, so it's so easy to implement. I'm just I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
And then the third one came around and I was like, I just can't say no. So I'm not going to blame my bad maths, but potentially should have put someone on a wait list. But either way, it's going to be great.
But we're here now. So in a couple of episodes time, let's check in and see how we manage that.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. Next time we chat, I might be singing a different tune, but who knows? And the only other thing I have to say is tomorrow is the One Roof and Stella Startup Women's Summit.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if you're going. I actually haven't spoken to you about it, but it's in Richmond at the Cremorne, which is this little pocket of Richmond that I have no idea why it's not called Richmond. It's at the Commons and I am so excited about going, and there's a dinner afterwards as well. I'm just my extroverted self is this is a good few weeks to be in business.
Yay.
That's pretty much all I've got. Do you have anything else for me or shall we get stuck into celebrating the wins in business?
Let's get stuck in. We are talking about wins in business, celebrating them, not celebrating them, what we've done in the past, what some of our amazing audience has done to celebrate their wins. We're just going to chat about all the amazing things we do in business and why we should celebrate them, and maybe some lessons we've learned about how we haven't celebrated them, which I am very guilty for.
Me too.
Which I'm sure some of us all are because we're busy. So we are going to touch on that. And I would love to know, Jordan, just off the bat, when you think about business and you think about wins, do you celebrate them or do you just kind of like tick them off like a milestone? Like, what is your ritual around celebrating wins in your business and maybe in a little bit in your life as well?
Right.
I mean, not to put you on the spot or give you a whole bunch of things to think about, but tell me all the things.
You know, that was only like 10 questions in one, but it's all right. I am ready. I've actually prepped this episode for the first time in about 11 episodes. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, up until I was preparing for this episode, I didn't really have a ritual or anything. I mean, I usually tell Alex over dinner that I hit X goal, and yeah, he's super happy for me. But then we carry on eating and watching Game of Thrones and, you know, telling Pip off for jumping on the counter. Like, we sort of talk about it. It's like, yay. It's a moment of yay. How cool is that? We move on.
Like a passing moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And I think for me, it has depended on what the win is. So there's a few different categories. So because a lot of the wins that sort of do pass me by really quickly in that sense of you sort of bring it up, have a, yay, that's great, and then move on. The smaller wins are the day-to-day wins. They're my client came back with amazing feedback, or like I had no edits on a content deck, or
I didn't cry today.
I didn't cry today. Exactly. They're all the, I mean, not crying today is a huge win in my books, but they're all the stereotypically smaller wins that are really easy to not celebrate because they're tiny. Oh, they seem tiny. And it's like, well, you know, if a small win happens every day, I'm not going to take myself out to a nice dinner or for cocktails or like throw a party about it because, you know, every time I get good client feedback, it doesn't match the level of win, I suppose. So I think it's more about matching what the win is to how you celebrate it. What do you think of that? Do you think that there's different ways to celebrate different kinds of wins?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm so guilty, not guilty, but like even the smaller wins, I kind of don't even like pat myself on the back about anymore, which is a bit sad. And it's something I definitely has come to like my attention to work on a lot because I think it helps obviously with your gratitude and the continuous success of your business, because we should be excited and celebrating even the smallest wins in our eyes, because that's different per person, per business owner. Yes, I definitely think we should be trying to celebrate them, but yet maybe depending on the level of the win depends on the level of the prize.
The level of the celebration, I suppose. I don't know, this is potentially a tangent and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it relevant, but I'm going to do my best.
I'll figure it out.
So it makes me think of like first birthday parties. I hope you know where I'm going with this because I'm suddenly not knowing where I'm going with this. So let me just word vomit and you can try and make sense of it, as is what usually happens. For me, first birthday parties, I don't see the point, right? Because the child is so young. You're looking at me surprised, okay? Yeah, all right. So this might just be a me thing. But the kid is so young, they're not going to remember it. But it's not actually about the kid. It's about the parents.
We made it a year.
Yeah, it's like they've survived a year with no sleep and all of the other things that come with parenthood. So for me, it's if you look from the parents' perspective, it's a worthy win to celebrate, and it's a worthy win to celebrate with a massive party because they're so like proud that they've made it a year and they're raising this human and it's been 12 months, and how cool is that? Like for them, it's amazing. The kid sitting in the dirt eating dirt, like they don't care. It's not a win to them because they've just slept and cried and ate and shat like that. I think what I'm trying to get at, I'm not 100% sure. I think what I'm trying to get at is that it depends on whoever's looking at whatever you're winning, that's what should decide like how you celebrate it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I'm glad. I never looked at it like that. So now that you've said that, I'm like, yeah, that so makes sense. It's not necessarily about the child. It is about, like parents celebrating and family coming together, celebrating life and that they've made it a year. Because you're right, like baby's not going to remember.
Nah.
I mean, I definitely don't remember my first birthday.
Yeah. And if you do, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'd be impressed.
Like slide into the DMs. Did you have a good first birthday?
Yeah. Did you have fun? What did you do? Did you like chat?
Who was there?
Yeah. Give us all of the details.
We need to know.
But yeah, I think bringing it back to business after a potentially relevant tangent, but whatever.
It works. This is our podcast. We can make it whatever we want.
Our podcast, our rules. I often look at that from a different business owners. So for other business owners, they may be really used to scaling and being in growth phases and all of that. So then potentially, you know, selling out of a course or hitting that milestone or hitting that like money goal, they're not going to celebrate it the same way as someone who hasn't launched anything, who hasn't hit like their, you know, ideal money goals before. So I think like if you look at one super successful business owner and just for example, say, you know, they had a 20K launch, that's like amazing. I would definitely celebrate that. But they might be used to 50K launch. So they might still hit their goals, but it's not worthy of a celebration of a 50K launch. Whereas someone who's used to 2K launches then gets 20K. They're like fucking going out to the nicest cocktail bar in Melbourne. They're treating themselves to like a 10-course degustation meal. Like it's all about you and your goals and what you value celebrating as well.
Yeah. And how you value to celebrate.
Yeah. So I guess that leads into the next question. How do you celebrate your wins, Hayleigh? Do you celebrate your wins?
Pretty guilty as to not celebrating. I have some like milestone things that I have goals in place for now.
Can you give us an example?
Yes. So my next financial year goal that I want to celebrate my business with is I want to invest in a custom piece of artwork.
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
So I've seen like, and it's not necessarily like a money goal. It's not necessarily like a milestone goal. It's just like I've made it to like my 3rd financial year in business, or actually I'll be going in my 3rd year, going into my 4th year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to invest in something that's profitable and like it's an investment. And like some people I've seen like buy jewelry or cars, or like I'm always guilty for buying business tech.
Yeah.
Like I bought like a laptop the first year and like I want to buy a new camera and all that kind of stuff. But I want to just buy something for me.
Yes.
And that's like custom artwork.
Oh, I love
that. It's like my big goal.
So that's a bigger goal. How about the little wins? Like what would you do to celebrate them if you were really good at celebrating them?
Great question. See, like going out for dinner and stuff is super exciting. And like there's so many fancy restaurants in Melbourne, but like I'm such a foodie that I would never like, I do this anyway.
Yes.
Like I don't go out heaps, but like I don't think of that as a celebration. I'm like, I'm going out for dinner because I fucking love food.
Yeah.
Yeah, guilty. Like I haven't found like a restaurant that I'm like, oh my God, I need to go there. And like potentially it's because I can't afford it. Like maybe that's like a thing I have to find is like a restaurant that I really want to go to. That's like, if I can go here, it's because I'm rich. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of see it with food and stuff. So that's what I'm still working on, is trying to figure out how to celebrate the smaller wins in my life and in my business. In my life, I'm good, but my business, I'm probably not. So
yeah, I love that. But like you've got time to figure it out. And like it's good even just ruling it out. Like you know that, you know, potentially going out to eat doesn't feel like a celebration to you because you do it often and you go to nice restaurants anyway and you eat good food. So it's finding out, all right, what are some rewards you can give yourself when, you know, that are out of the norm, that do feel special and you can really celebrate.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I want it to feel really special. And I think maybe that's why I don't celebrate them as enough, is because this doesn't feel special enough. This is something I would do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
I get that.
What about you? How do you celebrate your wins? What are some of the things that you do?
For me, I have sort of broken it up into different categories because, you know, I did prep, so I'm super organized. So I had to think about it because I am sort of the same. I haven't ever set aside like specific ways for me to celebrate the wins. You know, I do talk about it with Alex and, you know, I'll call my mom or I'll talk to you about it. Like, I talk about it, but I don't really do anything that's other than just share the win. The news. So I had a bit of a think about what I could do to celebrate my wins. So for money goals, nice dinner. So as you were talking about before, I'm similar. I love going out for nice food. Alex has totally converted me. I used to be very much a palmer at the pub kind of girl, and now I'm a raw fish for entrees kind of girl. But yeah, so we really love going out for nice food and we do it quite often. But for me, there are a couple of places that I probably wouldn't go regularly just because they are quite expensive. And I would Like we could go, but it's like, okay, we got to be careful about what we pick here. Instead, it's a we get to go and not worry about it. I think for me, when I hit a money goal, that's a really good thing because
you don't have to look at the price on the menu.
Yeah. And it's a good thing to put my money towards. So that's sort of what I've come up with. And I don't think Alex will complain if I take us out for a nice dinner.
Because Sugar Mama is paying.
Oh yeah. I'm so open to being that. I simultaneously want to be a sugar mama and a stay-at-home mum when I have kids. So I don't know how that's gonna work. But
yeah. My boyfriend jokes because he's older, but he's like, I was like out dating looking for a sugar mama. I was like, excuse me, I'm dating an older person. Like, yeah, that's meant to be you, buddy.
We're just flipping the stereotypes here.
And he's like, why do you work so much, Hayleigh? I was like, I'm working on that sugar mama money.
Yeah. I'm gonna start using that.
So don't complain that I'm working on the weekend when you want a sugar mama.
Yeah. Don't complain that I'm working on the weekend because I can then take you out to a really nice dinner.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, treating our partners to, just general sugar mama things. Great for money goals. I think for day-to-day goals, and these are things I want to look at, like enforcing boundaries, saying no to a red flag client, getting amazing feedback on a content deck, getting no edits on a content deck, all of those things that we always overlook because they seem so small, but that we absolutely need to celebrate. For me, it's treating myself to a day or an afternoon off to read or garden or relax or take them to the beach or just take some time off to sort of like soak it in, I suppose. Because I feel like the biggest reason we don't celebrate our wins is because it's like you check it off your list and then you move on to the next thing on your to-do list.
Yeah.
You don't stop to enjoy it.
Yeah. While you were like just saying that, it made me think that, like, just to go off on another tangent, I think this is why I don't celebrate those kind of things, is because the things I want to celebrate them with just seems so like to the norm. Like having an afternoon off doesn't feel like a celebration, but I guess it is.
And also, when was the last time you had an afternoon off?
Don't at me today, Jordan. I'm very sensitive now. Yeah.
Out here spitting facts.
Yeah, just out here like therapy session, like, this is what's wrong with me.
Yeah. I think the big reason that we do skip past all of those, as you said, it's because we feel like treating ourselves to what we always do is not a reward. But I really like just spending the time and letting it soak in. And like, I've just gotten back into gardening. So for me, it's like, because I want to make our outdoor area really nice before summer. So for me, I have been trying to squeeze that into my weekends. If I get to do it during the week, it's such a treat because I'm like, I get to do something I love. And like, I love my work as well, but I get to do something I love, switch off, chuck my phone away.
Yeah.
In time that I have extra time to do all of my downtime activities.
Yeah.
And at the same time, really enjoy and celebrate and let the win sink in. So I think all of that, that sort of day-to-day stuff. And the only other way I celebrate is I dance in my kitchen a lot.
Yeah, like sometimes I sit and reflect and I'm super like proud of myself, but I wouldn't, and then I'm like, look what I did.
Yeah.
And then I just go about my day.
Yeah. But I think, taking the moment, whether it is doing something you like, taking some downtime, or for me, dancing in the kitchen, because it just brings like good energy out as well. Like I can't dance for shit. I occasionally dance on Scrunch Stories and almost immediately regret it. But for me, it's just a way to like continue the good energy and like, I don't know, if I get like a content deck back with no edits, I'll be super happy about it. And then if I dance on top of that, it's like, it's all coming out and like, I don't know, it just feels like a more holistic way of celebrating the wins and really getting the vibes like going nuts, which is nice.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I like that idea. I'm going to incorporate dancing in the funs.
Yes. And if this is inspired you should do some dancing, please tag us at Girls Gotta Work Podcast on Instagram. We would love to see it.
Let's dance together.
The last thing I want to touch on before we dive into our listener segment is, what is a win that you can share with all of us right now, Hayleigh? Give us a win.
I am so excited because I am not good with maths and I'm not good with numbers, which is why I have a bookkeeper, but this is just a reflection upon how not great with numbers I am. I thought I had been doing like these number figures for like the last couple of months, and I just realized this morning that I've hit my biggest month ever in my business as of right now today, because my last invoice month just got paid.
That's amazing.
That I just got paid by that sangria.
I just got paid.
No.
Please listen to that song instead of listening to us.
I was broke, but now I'm bowling. Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing though. And how does it feel?
It feels really crazy. Like I'm like, whoa, I'm like, this is the most money I've ever made, but I also feel really poor, but I'm really rich and I'm really happy. And
a lot of conflicting emotions there.
Yes, I'm super happy.
Nice. And how are you going to celebrate it?
I want to do something different. So I think I'm gonna, I don't know.
So instead of you trying to think of something on the spot, because you're clearly having a time with it.
Yeah.
Why don't we put it out to our listeners? What should Hayleigh do to celebrate her biggest business?
Yeah. Tell me, listeners, what should I do?
What should she do? All right. We'll pop some stories up on Instagram and come tell us. Hit us with your suggestions.
And something kind of out of the box. Like I don't want to go and get a massage. I don't want to go out for a fancy dinner. I want something completely different.
She's not asking much, guys.
Oh no, I'm asking a lot.
That's all right. High standards. We've got high standards.
What about you, John? What is something that we can celebrate together with our listeners for you and Scrunch?
So my win is I am 3 months into working with a dream client who I've wanted to work with for like ever. When I started Scrunch back in 2020, they were one of the first accounts I came across on the gram, and I followed them and I was like, oh, like peak business owner right there. They were so cool. And I was just like, oh, I love them so much. Like they're just so inspirational. And they came into my client portfolio 3 months ago, which was just amazing. And I think it's like when you work with dream clients, I've had a few, some turn out like just as good as you expect, some disappoint, not like they're bad clients, just like, I don't know, you sort of hold people up on a pedestal because of the expectations you have of them after admiring them so long. But this client is just like better than I could have imagined. Like I throw out big ideas and she's like, yep, and we could do this. And like, we just have such a good time. And anytime I'm like editing the reels or doing the content, I'm just so in the zone and I have so much fun. Like I was doing it a couple of weeks ago. I just spent the whole day on her content, which is like pretty standard, but it went so quickly. And there aren't, like, I have a lot of amazing clients, but none quite that I sit down and just all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, it's so good. So I think it's kind of a smaller win, but for me, it's just like that's really cool. Like it's satisfying. It's definitely a goal I've had that I hadn't articulated it. And I'm just like really proud of myself that I am attracting these clients as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do to celebrate the amazingness of client life?
Can I crowdsource this too? No.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we can crowdsource. I think realistically, I'm going to try and get out in my garden this week. I'm going to try and take a bit of time off and just sort of like soak it up.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of like pulling stuff up to do before I can lay new things. So I feel like it's really good to like clear out all the rubbish essentially and make space for like new good stuff and like celebrate the new good stuff. I think that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, like plants. Clearly, like, I'm a gardener.
No,
like plants and stuff, or
what's
like
outside?
What?
No, so we've got like a little courtyard. Tangents. This episode should just be called Tangent Central.
Tangents and wins.
Tangents and wins. I mean,
like maybe. Toddlers and tiaras.
What if we actually called the episode Toddlers and Tiaras and just like let it happen and see, like, no context given, no show notes, just Toddlers and Tiaras. Follow us on Instagram at Girls Gotta Work Podcast. That's it. That's all we put out there.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. Anyway, going back to our previous tangent, basically I've got an outdoor courtyard. It's just a bit shoddy, like hasn't been looked after well. It's got a bunch of gravel, like sort of gravel, crushed rock, a bit of clay as well, because they like sort of did some works on it, didn't clean up properly. So basically just need to scrub all of that off. Then there's like, it's not a tarp, there's a proper gardening term for it, but like that sits under gravel a lot of the time because it stops it.
Oh, the like plasticky stuff.
Yeah. So I want to rip that up as well. And then I'm going to put sand down, level it out, and put pavers there. And then like have like a nice outdoor setting as well. I'm also going to try and put fairy lights across the whole like courtyard area so that like summer evenings, there's fairy lights. It's outside, it's warm.
This is impressive. Like,
I don't know how to do any of it.
This is a lot. Like,
yeah, I don't know how to do any of it, but I love sitting outside. And
yeah, nice.
So yeah, anyway.
So if you've just tuned in, listeners, and you've skipped the whole front half of this podcast, we're now a gardening podcast.
Yeah, stay tuned for our adventures into gardening. It is now Girls Got a Garden. Oh God, get the shovels away from us, literally and metaphorically. All right, let's dive into our listener segment. Actually, hopefully this isn't chaotic because this is actually not our segment. This is our listener segment. So hopefully you guys are bringing some cool, calm and collectedness to the podcast episode today. We asked our community, how do you celebrate the wins in your business? And we had a few lovely responses. So we can actually tag team it today because we both have answers on our screens because we're organized. How good does that feel?
Amazing.
All right, so I'm going to go first. So we have Bronwyn from Promo Logo. She said, gifts, always gifts. She has bought a neon sign, cute stationery, awesome earrings, all the fun stuff. And she also said, chocolate, gotta have chocolate.
Yeah, I love that idea. I mean, I've been saying how bad I am at buying myself gifts, but I sometimes think I want to get like a custom like suit made, like a blazer or something.
You do love your blazers.
Indecisive, so I don't know, but we'll workshop that idea.
One day we'll put it in the pipeline.
Yeah, and I was like talking to someone about it, and they put a patch on the inside and like noted their win or something like that, and I was like, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's so cool. You have to do it now. I mean, that's a good way to celebrate your biggest month in business ever.
Nah.
That's just the indecision coming out.
Yeah, normally I'm good at making decisions, but I don't know what it is about this part.
Just not today. Not today.
So I have one from our lovely One Roof. Well, I have a couple, but here is one of them. Mia has said that she sends personal notes to her team thanking them for their awesomeness. That's so sweet. I think people whose like love languages or words of affirmation are just like chef's kiss. Like that's amazing. Like that's perfect. Because sometimes that's all you need. Like you just need the recognition from others, especially if you're a team leader. So yeah, amazing leadership skills, and we love you for that.
Yeah, love me. I love everything about you. Yeah, amazing me. The next one is from Jess from the Abundant and Aligned podcast. And she's just said, a nice dinner and a glass of wine. Keep it simple. And I love that. I think, as we were talking about before, dinners can be a bit hit and miss depending on what you're celebrating, I suppose. But I love that so many people do take themselves outside of their regular work environment and take their like business wins out to the real world. I think that's really amazing. Yeah,
I really like that idea. We've gotten like a couple of votes for like going out for date night or like a luxe dinner. So we love that.
Yes, love it.
I have one from Alison. She said she buys herself something nice and deposits more into her super.
Oh, yes, Alison.
I mean, talk about like celebrating and looking after like future self. Like that's amazing.
That's the best way to celebrate. It's like, as you said, celebrating.
Investing in yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. You're going to have the best retirement ever.
Yeah. I feel like that resonates with me as like a business owner. Like, because I'm not like super rich, but I also don't like deprive myself. Like if I want something fancy, I kind of just buy it.
Yeah.
So for me, that like depositing more into my super is a good idea. I think I like that one. I think I'm going to take that one on.
Oh my God.
As a regular situation.
That's amazing. Thank you, Alison, for your
Thank
suggestion.
you, Alison.
Oh, love it. And we've just got one more from Jess from Positive HR. So she said, we get bougie and go to Bavaria for a cocktail. We also discuss how we all contributed.
Aww.
Love that. If we are talking love languages, it is quality time. So like the whole team goes, it is gifts, like a nice cocktail. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Bavaria. It's in Melbourne. It is like beautiful cocktail bar. So like it's quality time, it's gifts, and it's words of affirmation with discussing how everyone contributed. That's such a good way of like making sure that everyone feels celebrated in their own way, whatever that looks like for them. I'm obsessed with that, Jess. Positive HR team, you have an amazing leader. So many amazing leaders today, actually.
Yeah. I'm also inspired because agency Hayleigh like loves all of this side of things.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, just at myself. I'm so good at celebrating everyone else. I realize I suck at celebrating myself.
That's all right. We can work on it. And you now have this immortalized in a podcast so that if you listen to this in 12 months' time and you haven't worked on it, you can be perpetually disappointed in yourself.
Savage.
I'm the same. I'm not great at celebrating the wins either. If I look back on this in a month's time and haven't started celebrating, I'm just going to be crumbling in a ball in the corner. That didn't make sense. It's fine.
Well, we as listeners and people who consume Girls Gotta Wear content, we need garden updates.
Oh, yeah, true. Now I feel like I've overcommitted, right?
This is going to be a long process. It's starting small. First, it's like picking up all the weeds.
Oh my God, I've already started small. I started picking up weeds. I've actually done like a whole bed of the garden that I'm not paving, but it was just a mess. And I was like, I've already done that. So I can already provide updates. You just don't get before photos. So, but no, I feel like I've overcommitted because like fairy lights was something that like went to an Airbnb and I saw it and I was like, that's so cute. That would like have such a good vibe. And now I'm like, I feel like I've promised everyone
you can get them from everywhere. Like
no, but it's more like how to string them across. Anyway, there's a lot to go into it. It'll be fun.
Help you. Okay, got you, girl. I'll figure it out. I used to have fairy lights across my like bed head because it's fabric. So I just like fucking stapled that shit in.
All right, we'll just staple it into the brick wall.
No, you just get little hooks. Anyway, we're going way off tangent. What I want to end with before we fully sign off is a bit of a win challenge or a business win.
I'm so here for this.
So what do we think, audience and Jordan, of some kind of like challenge we can put out to the community, whether it's like a win bingo or like a daily habity like checklist, like and it can be how to celebrate the small wins to turn it into a big celebration or a big thing. So it's like, I don't know, I didn't cry today, tick. And then like when you get to the end of the list of the bingo-ness, we can like celebrate our audience somehow. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
What do we think?
Yeah, I think so. If we want to keep it a bit simpler, we could just have like a celebration challenge where every day for 10 days you share on stories, like at the end of the day, you share on stories something that you want to celebrate, and you celebrate with us. You tag us at Girls Gotta Work podcast. You know, get involved. We'll share it all on our stories. So then we can all just be like a 10 days of celebrating each other and hyping each other up and also acknowledging the daily wins as well as the big wins.
Yes. Amazing. It's happening.
All right,
done. Episode goes live, guys. We're tagging you. We want the wins. We want them all.
We want them all. Like Pokemon. I'm not even going to Pokemon. We gotta catch them all. And I clearly have never watched Pokemon. So anyway, I think that's pretty good to wrap us up, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks everyone for coming along for our Toddlers and Tiaras episode of Wins in Small Business. And that's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for joining us on another wild ride into business ownership. And we're hoping you're feeling a little less alone now than you were before you started, or at least had a good laugh with us.
At least you had a good laugh. You want to keep all of these chaotic, and I really hope good vibes rolling. Come join the crew on Instagram and TikTok at Girls Gotta Work podcast. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you tune in.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.